Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I really want to talk about Granblue Fantasy vs Rising because it's been almost 2 months since the game has come out, and I really want to talk about how I feel about the game now, where I'm at, what are the things that I like and what are the things that I dislike, what I have some concerns with, and what I'm hopeful for when it comes to the future of this game. So with that being said, the game has been out for 2 months now. It's been a lot of time. A lot of people have been talking about it from different ways. Also, there's been a lot of tournaments, which is really cool. More people have been also talking about tournaments, even though those are pretty, I'll say, controversial. Regardless, it's a pretty exciting thing. But more exciting than that, we have 2B, who's coming out very soon in Granblue Fantasy vs Rising. That's really awesome. I really cannot wait to see how she'll play. Of course, there's a little bit of concern because, guest characters, you know how they are in fighting games. Sometimes they're just absolutely ridiculous and they break the game. Hopefully that's not the case for 2B, but we'll see. Hopefully she comes out and she's fun to play and she's good, not bad, but also not broken. I definitely don't want to see another broken character, man. Anyways, more importantly, I'm also pretty curious when it comes to the release of 2B. I don't know if she'll be in the rupee shop, so I hope she is. And I've even made this vow, basically, that if 2B is in the rupee shop, I would buy the battle pass. I've already made a video when it comes to the monetization of the game. You know how I feel about that. Of course, I think the monetization of Granblue is really good. It's like, honestly, probably the best monetization we've had in a fighting game, because you think about the free-to-play edition, that's awesome. You think about the fact that new DLC characters come out, of course, but also we can have access to them through the rupee shop. You don't have to necessarily buy a character. You can farm for rupees and get the character for free, basically. It's just that it's going to cost you your time, but still, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy when it comes to that. On top of that, the game is not even a full price game. If you just want to have the base game and it's fine for you, you can just buy it for 50 bucks, which is really awesome. So it's not a full price game. And then you have costumes. Those are really cool too. Colors are really cool too. They give you colors through the rupee shop as well. That's really awesome. So, nothing to really be concerned about when it comes to the content that you can get in game without necessarily spending a lot of money on it. Considering that the previous Granblue was extremely expensive, this one is not that expensive, but still I have my concerns with the monetization, and I still wait for them to prove that they do not want to absolutely screw us over. Of course, I know these things are pretty, I can sound a little bit entitled when it comes to that, but still, I want to put my money where it's worth, and I don't really want to get screwed over like with any other fighting game. Every fighting game is always so goddamn expensive, man. It's crazy. But regardless, the monetization is really good. I'm just a little bit cautiously optimistic, I would say. With that being said, there's other things that this game is doing pretty well too. If you look at the Twitter, it's really awesome too. They give you a lot of videos with like little tips on how to deal with difficult situations in the game, and that's really awesome. They've also made some guides on some characters, like, oh, you can do this with Zoe, you have a little combo here. I remember when they did that before the release of the game. That was really dope. So it's the kind of thing that I hope they continue doing. They don't stop doing it, because it's really useful and it's interesting too. Of course, and unfortunately, people are always complaining about things that do not make any sense. I don't understand how people are constantly complaining about this type of stuff in the comment section of those Twitter videos. I will never get it. It's the type of thing where people complain and we might not get that type of stuff in the future anymore, because some people are ruining it for everybody else, basically, and that really sucks. Now, aside of that, of course, like I said, I really like the game. It's honestly still my favorite fighting game. Like, I don't really want to play any other fighting game. Tekken came out, that's cool. Uni came out, that's cool, but I have basically no interest in them. I'll just watch them at EVO or during some tournaments. I watched Tekken during Frosty Fausting as well. It was really cool, but I'm still more interested in Granblue. And whenever projectile comes out, I'm gonna play it a little bit, but it's a tag game and I'm not really a fan of tag games. So we'll see what happens when it comes to that. But still, Granblue is still my favorite one. But it doesn't mean that I don't have any issues with it. I have a ton of issues with this game, and a lot of people have been complaining about a lot of things when it comes to this. And to be honest, you gotta give them credit, they're right. A lot of things about this game are not good and they need to be fixed, but it's to be expected when it comes to the very first version of a fighting game. So what are these issues? Let's not go too much into detail because there are too many things to talk about in general. For example, we know that Dashlight is really strong. We know Brave Counter is extremely strong too. We know that some characters are just straight up broken and need to be fixed. You know, a lot of things that are just really problematic for the game and kind of not fun in general. So instead of talking about all these things in details, I kind of want to call out, I would say, the devs, or call out the game in general for some of the weird mechanics or the weird designs that exist in it, and also some weird philosophy that I noticed and that causes the games to have some odd tendencies, and that I'm a little bit concerned about when it comes to the future, right? So what am I talking about? Let's talk about the overall design of the game, because that's where the issue really is, right? Right now, what is the game and what is Granblue to me, right? Overall, personally, when I think about Granblue, it's a game that I really like because things are pretty intuitive overall, like character strengths and character weaknesses. You can kind of tell where they are. Like in general, it's not something that is true for every single character, of course, but overall, it's a pretty easy. It's pretty easy to have a general idea of what a character does, and I really like that about the game. Also, mechanically wise, it's not that deep. There's not too much to do. Even with the new mechanics that they added, it's not that crazy, right? It can sound a little bit intimidating when you hear about the BP system, for example, but overall, when you play, it's not that crazy and it's kind of intuitive too. So I really like that about the game still. It's an aspect that it preserved and I like it. More importantly, the part that I liked about the old game was this aspect where even when you were getting stomped, there was always that feeling of there was something that you could learn from it, right? If you were getting stunned by a specific move or by some strategies, there was always that feeling that you could have done something better to win, right? But when it comes to the flow of the game overall, like how the matches are, I feel like the old Granblue was a bit more methodical. This one is extremely scrambly and very messy, I would say. So a lot of matches revolve, you know, around rushing down your opponent with Dashlight, doing a lot of things like ultimate skills here and there. Like it's a little bit too, I would say, all over the place almost. And to be honest, I would mostly blame Dashlight, but more importantly, I would blame the philosophy of the game, which is rush down equals win harder. So that's basically the problem I have with this game. It's not just that there's a rush down mechanic that exists in the game, or there's something to, you know, that allows you to be more aggressive. It's not just that. That's the issue. The biggest issue is the win harder part. It's like, okay, you already have a character that can rush down your opponent. You're rushing them down, that's cool. But now you also plus and block, and then you can keep using the same move to continue rushing down your opponent, being plus. Also, it leads to a combo, regardless if it's a counter hit or no. It can also be a medium auto combo, which does more damage, which is insane too. You know, it's kind of insane. It's really that philosophy of rush down, win harder. And you can also see it through a lot of designs of the current characters, right? For example, Siegfried is a really good character overall, which is already pretty crazy because a lot of his moves have insane properties without any cost, without any form of counterbalance in his design as a character. But then they give him another thing, which is he's unique, which is Manigance, the buff, which allows him to do significantly more damage than he already does. Insane. So there's always this idea of more rush down equal more, you know, you win more. It's like capitalism basically. The rich gets richer. So Siegfried does that too. But also another thing that I forgot is brave counter. You know how you're already winning against somebody, right? They're already low health, and then you're like, okay, they attack you because it's their turn or something like that. You lost your offense, and then you block, and then you do brave counter, and then they are in chip kill, then chip kill range, and then you just keep chip kill them, and then that's it. And it's crazy. It's always like this win harder type of mechanics that we have in the game right now, and I'm not really a fan of that. Not gonna lie, not really a big fan of this aspect of the game. I hope, or I wish it wasn't that way. So that's already a pretty problematic thing that exists in the game, and hopefully they can change that in the future. But another thing that I really don't like about the game is, or that I'm pretty concerned about, is just some tendencies that come with that philosophy overall. For example, I don't know if some people knew this, but in the betas before the release of the game, Six, you know, his empty hand, the move that he uses to dive from full screen at you, that move used to be a proper DP in its ultimate form, right? Ultimate empty hand was a proper DP, frame 1, invincible, everything. But then he could also combo off of it. But when they released the game, they nerfed the move to make it so it's no longer a frame 1 invincible move, right? So it's no longer a DP. The crazy thing is that now you look at a character like Nier, who has a reversal, and she can combo off of that reversal. That's pretty wild. Now I'm a little bit scared. It's not really that I think they are trying to make more reversal moves combo starters. I don't think that's really the case. But what I'm noticing is there's a lot of low risk, high reward mechanics in the game. Especially because you think of Nier's reversal, there's no downside to it. Basically, she can just do it. She can just do it for free, and she's advantageous after doing it. Empty hand is a plus and block move, or safe at least, and that's a problem too. So again, low risk, high reward moves. You also see it in brave counter. You see it in dash light. Another problem that the game has, right? Weird tendencies that you can see all over the place, and I'm not really a fan of that. Outside of this, there are also some pretty weird designs overall when it comes to some character tools. This is not like universal. That's why I mentioned character tools. It's pretty specific to some characters. But some characters, when I look at them or I look at their kit, they have some moves that are straight up useless. You notice how, for example, the biggest culprit of this is Siegfried, for example, right? Siegfried is already a really strong character, but then they gave him an install. The install doesn't do anything for him. Basically, he's losing. Using the install is like basically losing. You don't need the install at all for Siegfried in order to win. Worst part even is that you don't need to use Mightigans to win with Siegfried. I've seen a lot of tournaments. I rarely see people use Mightigans at all because they don't even want to lose that sliver of health. It's not worth it. Unless it's level 3, it's not really worth it. So you don't really need to use Mightigans either. How many people also remember a character like Seox has an install? That install doesn't do anything. So install supers is just something that I'm a little bit, you know, I feel a bit weird about them because I feel like they exist but they don't serve any purpose. And it's the same for a lot of other characters too. Fairy also has her install super, which gives her Gatlings, I believe. But I don't think that's really important for her. Some tools in some of the characters' kits are not that interesting. That also is true for some ultimate skills. For example, I played Zoe. Zoe is pretty cool, but her ground ultimate lightning is really bad. Like, it doesn't do anything for her at all. And on top of that, it makes her lose her main Oki tool, which is not good at all, right? So ultimate lightning, I don't know. I feel like that move just kind of sucks. It's unblockable, but what's the point really, right? That's the problem. What's the point of that move exactly? We don't know. Or you also have Percival, which I played too, up to level 500. That character is pretty odd because they nerfed his unique X-Seal, is what it's called, the command grab. They nerfed it to the point where it just doesn't do anything. Yes, you can use it to, you know, combo somebody at the wall and stuff like that. That's pretty okay, I guess. But the problem is, would I really sacrifice my positioning at the wall in the corner just to get something like that when I can just do I don't know, close L even, that would be better. To be honest, because it's a 14 frame command grab. It has, the range is abysmal. Like the range is so tiny for that move, it's insane. It doesn't do damage, it doesn't generate meter, it doesn't get you a combo from mid screen. It doesn't even leave the opponent at a range where you can poke them with far light or far medium, I mean, with Percival. You know, at least if they could be at range for you to just slide in like a far medium and the opponent has to block it. You don't even have that. Like the move just doesn't do anything whatsoever. I think that's really bad. So that's already something that I'm really concerned with when it comes to the nature of some nerfs. Because if they nerf characters and the idea of a nerf is just making something completely useless, I don't really like it. I don't. These are just some issues I have with it, where some of the designs are pretty weird. The design decisions, they're pretty weird, or sometimes straight up rage inducing even. They're kind of frustrating. But yeah, with that being said, I do have a little bit of a wish list that I would like to make for the future of the game. You know, we haven't had any news on a possible patch yet. All we know is that they want to make very few patches for this game, which I really like. Thank God. I don't like when games have too many patches. However, I do like emergency patches when there's a very specific thing in the game that is way too good and it has to go away, right? With that being said, I don't really want to go again too much into details on specific things that they have to buff or nerf. I already have made a lot of videos. I've made a video on Dashlight, for example, where I said I want Dashlight to no longer be what it is because I think it's a problem mechanic, and I want it to be basically just a generic poke, nothing else. Instead of just being this ultimate move that constantly gives you advantage, and that is the main tool for every single character to initiate offense, I think that's really lame. Because you know, you have a new character like Lucilius, which came out recently, and it's really cool. But the problem, whenever I fight Lucilius, all I see people do is Dashlight. It's Dashlight, far medium, Dashlight, far light, Dashlight. You know, it's the only thing that they are doing this whole time. Even though the character has really cool moves, really good mobility, surprisingly, when it comes to his backdash. You know, he's pretty interesting. He's an interesting character, but currently, the only thing that people are doing is just Dashlight because they're farming for auto combo into you know, his specials and stuff like that. That's really lame. That really sucks. And I'm really concerned for 2B too, because she's going to come out and then all we're going to see is just Dashlight as well. It kind of sucks. I want to see more of the other moves that she has, more of her normals. I want to see them shine, but we don't see any of these tools shine. The identity of characters are pretty much overshadowed by this core mechanic, which is just too powerful right now, and I'm not really a fan of that. So yeah, another thing that I kind of want them to change, of course, is Brave counter. Like, I think Brave counter plus on block is stupid. The damage that it does is also stupid. Just let it be zero on block. That's fine. Return to neutral. Add even a little bit of pushback if you want, but I mean, man, plus on block is just dumb. Like, come on, it's just kind of stupid. And also the damage, really dumb. Outside of this, of course, characters, buffs, and nerfs. My only hope when it comes to characters, buffs, and nerfs is that they have a direction that they follow, and that, you know, it's clear and makes sense for many characters. Yes, I want Nier to get nerfed, but in what way? What is the direction for Nier right now? Because at the moment, all I see for that character is just a character that has only advantages, and then the idea is that, oh, for 20 seconds she's going to lose her puppet if she doesn't manage her things well. But does it really matter when you're already like 10% health left? You're already dying by the time she loses her puppet. That's the problem. You're already dead. So it doesn't really matter, right? Same with characters like Six. Why does he even have the install if the character is naturally always plus, always advantageous, always has all these things that are really good for it, right? What is the point even? Again, right? That's the problem I have. So having a direction for nerfs and buffs is definitely going to be the most important thing here. And I hope that the patches, like I said, are more are very impactful. I don't want to see a situation of Guilty Gear Strive where the patches, you know, they're good, but they only tackle issues bit by bit. After 6 months, you do not want a bit by bit type of patch. You want something that is real. You want something that really changes the game, and in a good way, right? What would be actually fun for the game, and that's the most important thing. What would be fun? What are fun designs for this game? To me, Dashlight not being a combo tool or not being a combo starter is a fun idea because it makes more character unique, right? And on top of that, when it comes to buffs, I hope that something that a lot of characters get is ease of use for some of the moves. What I mean by that, for example, X-Seal, like I said, is a really difficult move to use for not a lot of reward too, because the move, like I said, the range is really small. It doesn't give you anything at all in terms of damage, in terms of meter, in terms of positioning either. It doesn't give you anything whatsoever. So if they buff the move, I don't really need it to combo necessarily mid-screen like it did in the previous game, but at least give it like something that makes sense, where it's like, okay, you do X-Seal to somebody, they take like 300 damage or something like that, very low damage, right? And they're in a position where your farm medium can reach. Because at least if you are able to reach with farm medium, that means you can apply more pressure. But right now if you use X-Seal, they're just out of pressure, and that sucks. So that's the type of buffs that I would like to see more. Just utility being easier. Even things like the ultimate fireball, leaving a bit, like I don't need it to be huge, but just a slightly bigger area of effect for it. Just so when somebody is in the corner and then you poke them with like farm medium, you can do the ultimate fireball and it would leave the carpet right below them, not in front of them where they don't get hit, because that really sucks every time. So yeah, that's pretty much my things for Granblue Fantasy Versus right now. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a cool game. It has some issues, yes. I still love the game despite these issues, and I'm really, you know, I'm hopeful for the future. I hope they make the right decisions. They're really not in the position to mess up, to be honest. So they have to be careful when it comes to the things that they're trying to do. Overall, like I said, please just have a damn vision and a damn direction for the game, because I really do not want to see random buffs or random nerfs that do not make sense. You know, you remember Kai's Stun Deeper? Kai's 5-frame Stun Deeper was the dumbest thing that they've ever done in Guilty Gear Strive. If they do stuff like that for Granblue, I don't know, I will lose my mind, because it's the type of buff that just doesn't make sense for the type of character that Kai is. That they wanted Kai to turn into a little gorilla, and it didn't really work too well. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this video. Enough rambling. So thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know if you agree or disagree with some of the things that I've said, or what you would like to see too for the future of the game. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.